Yes. Prachanaranjan Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivarada Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnanatirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksaranalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manabhisam Savitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dudati Sapadantika Vadyahal Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru and Vaisnav Himsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Sakamitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranam Hare Priyavancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhyavacha Patitanam Bhavani Vaishnavi Jonam Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Kadadara Saraswati Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so now we continue to text number 7.
Yes.
Yastvindriyani manasha
Yastvi Indrayani Manasa.
niyam yarabatirjuna
Yam Yara Badirjuna.
karvendriya karvaya gam
Karmendriya Karma Yugam.
asakta shavisishyate
Asakta Shavishishyate.
Yastvindriyani manasha
Yastvindri Yaniyam Manasa.
niyam yarabatirjuna
Yam Yaravatirjuna.
karmendriya karmayogam
Karmendriyai Karma Yugam.
asakta savishishyate.
Asakta Savishishyate.
Yastvindriyani manasha
Yastvindriyani Manasha.
niyam yarabaterjuna
Niyam Yaravatirjuna.
karmendriyai karmayogam
Karmendriya Karma Yugam.
asakta savishishyate.
Asakta Savishishyate.
Yastvindriyani manasha
Yastvindriyani Manasha.
niyam yarabaterjuna
Niyam Yaravatirjuna.
karmendriyai karmayogam
Karmendriya Kama Yoga
asakta shavishisyate.
Asaktasha Vishishyate.
Yes, please.
Yasvidhriyani Manasha
Yastvindriyani manasha
Niyam Yaravatirjuna
yam yarabhaterjuna
Karmendriya Karma Yogam
karmendriya karma yogam
Asaktasha Vashishyate.
asakta savishisyate. Yaha, one who. Two, but. Indriyani, the senses. Manasha, by the mind. Niyamya, regulating. Arabhate, begins. Arjuna, O Arjuna. Karma indriyahi, by the active sense organs. Karma yoga, devotion. Asaktaha, without attachment. Saha, he. Vishishyate, is by far the better. Translation. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Let's read once more again. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Can you read the purport? Are you with the
Yes.
text or?
Yes, I have the text.
Okay, I'll make it little bit small.
Instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from material bondage and enter into the kingdom of God. The prime Svartagati, or goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. The whole institution of Varna and Asrama is designed to help us reach this goal of life. A householder can also reach his destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. For self realization, one can live a controlled life as prescribed in the Sastra and continue carrying out his business without attachment, and in that way make progress. A sincere person who follows this method is far better situated than the false pretender who adopts show butter spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living.
Yes. Okay. Also, we can read from here. Surrender unto me. Not so much, but we can also read from this one, from this verse.
This verse, okay.
Yeah.
This verse describes the dutiful householder as being better situated than the Mithyachara Sannyasi. In his support, Srila Prabhupada glorified the Varnasrama system because it leads a conditioned soul gradually towards self-realization.
Okay. So we can come back here. So in the previous text is mentioned like this. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manaso smaran indiyartan vimudhatma mityachara sauchate. One who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells on sense object certainly deludes himself and is called pretender. So like it's mentioned by Srila Prabhupada here that actually if somebody like make a show of spiritual spiritual, they consider themselves practicing spiritual, but actually at the same time actually he is still having like motive, material motive behind that. It's actually just to make living. Then such person who actually is not purified, who is their mind is not purified, their existence is not purified yet, but it's at the same time they consider themselves or they proclaim themselves to become, for example, yogi or whatever, spiritualist, something like that. Then it is not good. This is called pretender. Yeah, this is called pretender. And person who like that, so their practice or performance of meditations has no value. Yeah, has no value. And in comparison to that, it is better to a person who just actually continue to do his own duty according to his own varna and asrama. Like we already we already discussed earlier about the varna and asrama, right? What do you remember any of them?
I can't remember. When I read, I was
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah. So there is some things like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. We have
Oh,
socially
it's like the
occupation.
different caste, right?
Yeah, so something
Ah,
you,
okay,
you
okay.
can say yes or
So
whatever.
I got those.
Yeah. So it's better just situated on that according to our nature. We just perform it. And Srila Prabhupada here is mentioned actually. This is actually for householder. Sometimes the yogi and different person they will actually renounce the thing, renounce the material world, something like that. As we also mentioned, we can also see in the yoga ladder. Maybe we already discussed also earlier. Let me see. Yoga ladder. We can go to yoga ladder. This text. 1 minute. Okay. If we go to yoga ladder, it's over there. It's first. Let me take some time to go to that. Hmm. Just wait a minute. I'll try to show you the yoga ladder. Yoga ladder is it's, I cannot find it. It's not in this part. Let's just see. The table about it's not in the beginning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like here you can see. So if we see here,
Yes, I can see.
if we see, so if somehow people actually they still attached in karma yoga, for example, in karma kanda is one who still very gross. They just want for just benefit without any connection with God. They don't understand anything, that everything is just for my satisfaction. This is karma kanda. Although they may be following religions or different injunctions, but their purpose is only for for myself to fulfill myself. Like that. This is karma kanda. And karma yoga, in karma yoga, it's a little bit advanced because he already tried to connect it. That oh, actually, we need to connect it with God, something like that. The karma yoga. So I perform something and link our activities for Krishna, for example, for God. For example, okay, I have to get something, I have to make living, but anyhow, I have to also little bit connected with Krishna, something like that. So you see this one, that there is a line in order to attain Brahman realization, impersonal God, or understanding God as impersonal, one cannot go from karma yoga unless one Going to Jnana Yoga first. Jnana Yoga means they who already realize that actually we are not this body. We are not this body and we are the soul. So there is no, there is no, not really needed to actually too much care about this material body. So focus on spirituality also. But then he understand, if we understand that God, absolute truth, has no form, then he will come to the Brahman. Yeah. But still, if he is not going to that Brahman realization, but he perform Astanga Yoga, in chapter 6 will be described, then he will get a Brahman realization. So just before this, when Jnana Yoga, usually people will, in the path of Jnana, usually people will renunciate. He he neglect everything. I mean, he no longer doing his like material duty, like renunciate, something like that. So sometimes there is people who try to renunciate like that, but actually he is still having, material desires, or even, you know, to make themselves become rich, to make a living by the soul, like that. Like this in the chapter 3, text number 6 over there. One who make a show of a different type of spirituality, but actually just to collect money, let's say, or to to make themselves rich and then enjoy sense gratification. This is called pretender. That is not good, because we still have material desire for ourselves, but we already proclaim, or we take, let's say, renounce order of life. That this is not good. So in the text number 7 here, it just mentioned it is better just do our own duty in Varnasram Dharma. Yeah, because in Renan's order of life, they living the family life, no longer a family life. Yeah. But it is better to cultivate karma yoga, stay in stay in your own, let's say, social duties now, whatever it is, and at the same time try to cultivate and control the mind. For example, here refer to the householder. Householder mean the family life. So it's family life. So let's see. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begin karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. So that is better than one who make a show of spirituality to renounce everything, but actually they still want to have a hidden motive, like they are not purified. So this is not good. The better than Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, a sincere sweeper on the road is better than meditator who actually just want to make a living out of it, like that. So yeah, here is the meaning of that. Instead of becoming pseudo transcendentalist, pseudo mean not real, fake, yeah, fake transcendentalist. It's happening actually in India also, many like that. And even when Prabhupada time, also in India, in America, many guru come to America also, and they bring different types of things. But actually, behind that, actually they just want to, you know, to make themselves rich, like that, to plunder the followers, like that. It was happening like that, and and maybe even in nowadays, if people are not selective, is not they not making good observation, then they might be also cheated like that. So it is better to to continue our duties in our institution of Varna and Asrama, in whatever asrama we are, in whatever Varna we are, and at the same time, try to cultivate a spiritual life in Krishna consciousness is better. And then by the process, after some time, when we purify it, then it will be natural. You know, when we purify it, and then we have no taste again for material things, then the time we, somebody can officially take the renounced order of life, or even remain so, not needed to be officially like that, but actually already in that stage. Yeah. Especially not everyone becomes sannyas, and also in our Vedic culture, that for the lady there is no sannyas for them. Yeah. They should be protected by father when is still young, or children, let's say, still girl, and then when they are grown up, then they will be protected by the husband, and then when, for example, husband taking renounce order of life, for example, then they will be protected by the grown up son, like that. Or if the husband is going to retire, so she can follow him. Yeah. Still in retire life, the husband and wife can still be together. Of course, there is no sex life anymore, and then retire life. So they just cultivate more devotional service. I have many example here. Like my senior is from Canada. He is been a manager with in many temples, and in this way he is considered to be like kshatriya, manager, like, administrator, like that. So and now he is already retired, and his wife is in India. Yeah, and he is now in Canada, and sometimes he come to Cambodia also for preaching purposes. So like that. So that is retired, and then by that time, actually, the wife still can assist the husband. Yeah. But on when people enter the renunciation, actually there is no anymore. Even the wife, they should go back to their the son, to be protected by the sons, like that. So this is the culture in not actually, let's say, Indian, but it is actually was the culture of everywhere. Even in Europe, in ancient time there is extended family, not like modern days. Modern days, usually after we grow up, we will separate from our parents. Many, not all, but most of us like that, right? So there is no extended family, like, big family. As soon as they get married, they will separate. Yeah, especially in the city, it's like that. Yeah. So it is better to keep doing our role in social role according to our nature, than just to artificially make ourselves renunciate like that, and then actually we still have different these material desires. It will become a disturbance to the society if we are not really, have that purification, but we are proclaiming to become a renounce or something like that. This is not good. And also he will not be happy as well. Why? Because when person are not in real, what like they do, they will not. This is not the nature. They will not be happy. So it's better to be situated in that. And in Bhakti Yoga, this is very strong actually. Bhakti Yoga. Why? Because like we mentioned here, in Bhakti Yoga, even without Astanga Yoga, in the cultivation of Bhakti Yoga actually is very strong. that even by performance of Bhakti Yoga, we can get the result of from Jnana Yoga and Astanga Yoga as well. Why? Because by performance of Bhakti Yoga, we will understand that the absolute truth is the Bhagavan. Bhagavan means the person. God has a form like that. And then after that, also automatically, he will also realize that God also present in everyone's heart. And also God is also present everywhere as an impersonal like that. So by cultivation of Bhakti Yoga, then there will be, all the results of all paths will be accomplished. And how to perform devotional service, there is a 9 processes of bhakti. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, yeah, Archanam, Padasevanam, yeah. Like, did I mention earlier these 9 processes of bhakti? We can also search here. We can also search here. Very easy.
Yes.
Sravanam, Kirtanam. This is mentioned by Prahlad Maharaj. Nice. Okay. Okay, this one. Smaranam, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. Sravanam means we are hearing about Krishna. Also, when we chant Hare Krishna, when we hear the mantra, actually we also hear Krishna. So that is Sravanam. Or we listening to the class, for example, describing about Lord Krishna's pastime. Or even about knowledge of Krishna consciousness, that's also Sravanam. And then Kirtanam is one who glorifies. Sometimes we sing together like that. That is also Kirtanam. Or somebody giving a class or somebody giving a lecture, that is also Kirtanam. Kirtanam about who? About Lord Vishnu and his devotees, about Lord Krishna. Not, talking about football match or about gossip. It's not like that. That is not Sravanam Kirtanam. Yeah. But this is hearing and chanting about Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Smarana means remembering. When we try, after we are having a lot of Sravanam and Kirtanam, it is natural that we will remember about pastimes of the Lord. And that is also devotional service. And then Archanam, worship in the temple. Padasevanam is serving lotus feet. It is done by Lakshmi Devi to Lord Vishnu, which is massaging the feet of the Lord. That is Padasevanam. And then Archanam is deity worship. Vandanam is to pray. And Dashyam means to serve the Lord, become his servant, like Hanuman to Lord Ramachandra. So that is Dashyam. And Sakyam in friendship, like Arjuna and Krishna. Here, Arjuna having this friendship with Krishna. And Atmani Vedana means to give everything to the Lord. Sakyam and Atmani Vedanam is very rare to be achieved. Yeah. Atmani Vedanam is experienced by Bali Maharaj, who gave everything to the Lord. So he attained perfection. Even if we can practice even one out of the 9, then we can attain perfection actually, even by Sravanam or Kirtanam. Even only by that, one of them, then we will get perfection. What to say about if we are performing combination of them? Yeah. So it is very important. And also performance of a bhakti or devotional service should be favorable. And then this is the secret, that it should be favorable. It means that not we remembering Krishna as enemy. For example, Kangsha is the uncle of Lord Krishna himself, but he is like a demoniac. He wants to kill Lord Krishna. He always remember Krishna, but in the mood of enemies like that. When Krishna will come to kill me, always thinking like that. Never forget. Yeah. But it's not in favorable way.
Although by this process also actually Kamsa get liberation, you know. Although remembering Lord Krishna as an enemy, he still get liberation. Yeah. Get liberation still. It is so merciful, devotion. But it is not considered to be favorable way. And devotional service should be favorable. So we come to Krishna with love like that. It's not like enmity or something like that. And one more thing is that we should be without motive, without motive like that. So when we can be like that, we just want to serve Krishna without any motive. And this one will not come also without, you know. But actually by practicing of devotional service, although maybe we don't have jnana, after some time it will manifest. Jnana means the knowledge about, you know, we are not this body and everything, these things. It will manifest actually if we perform devotional service. In the experience, many devotees actually, they even don't know anything at first, but after performing such devotional service, then he can be very quick, to advance. And they have detachment, natural detachment, not need to be, you know, to make it um additional effort for that, but just it manifests like that. Actually, when one becomes pure devotee of Krishna, actually liberation and yeah, the knowledge is will actually will be manifest. All good qualities will manifest. So it is better to perform this. And then in Bhakti Yoga, it is okay that we are in family life is okay. Only also should be regulated. So if we want to be serious in spiritual life, in even in the marriage, we should be regulated. You know, in the what is it? The union between husband and wife should be regulated. Otherwise, we will not be advanced in you know, because when persons are too much engaged in that activities, the mind will not focus. They will have no determination. Yeah, that determination is lost. To perform such a devotional service will be lost. Very difficult. But in Bhakti Yoga, it is still allowed to be in family life, but should be also regulated. And in other part like Jnana, Brahman realization, and Astanga Yoga, for example, should be really absence of that. If we go to chapter 6, Lord Krishna will explain that should be complete brahmachari, celibacy. So the path of Astanga Yoga is not possible for one who is still in family life. It's not possible. Why? Because it should be fully like that. And that's why this is the the benefit of bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga can be done in even in the family life. This is very powerful. And in modern days, people are mostly in family life. And still, we can start bhakti yoga. Of course, if we have a partner who have like a similar, you know, view or similar, you know, point of view about what we should actually achieve in this life, then will be good. If one is, for example, too materialistic and one to go to spiritual life, even if they are, you know, husband and wife, will be difficult sometimes. Why? Because one is going to another direction and one is going to another direction. Yeah. But if both of them are actually have the, you know, at least knowing what is the goal of life and they together want to achieve that, then will be encouraging each other. Yeah, encouraging each other. Because a family is like a team. So in Vedic culture, it is mentioned that actually like a marriage and different things is supposed to be, you know, in ideal way, supposed to be there is no breakup. That's it. Yeah, that's why need a lot of thing like consideration about the what is that the compatibility of between two persons. Also need to see observe in an ancient time. I'm talking about something ancient, not so ancient, but it's in previous time that in India actually, although you know there is a less connection between men and women, but when they get married, there is very less breakup in the family relationship. Yeah. Why? Because they observe many things. Actually usually will be done by the person who know both person, how his character and how, and astrology is also one of them. Then they will see the chart of uh, both, whether it is match or not. That is one consideration. It's also, what is the tendency of the candidate. They will see everything. If it is very, match is very good, then they will be continuing. They don't even meet each other. Usually, will the parents or somebody, the elder will find. Not long time ago, when I was in India in 2010, it is still happening. That there is one devotee over there, and the mother is going to village and to village to search for the partner by by measure knowing how is their family, and the different things like astrology as well. But when they really compatible, of course many things to be considered, not only astrology also. Then they will be okay, they will continue, let's say like that. And ideally in Krishna consciousness, family in Krishna consciousness is that they there is no breakup supposed to be. Of course, in reality there is still many of family of devotees also broke up with different reasons. So yeah, I just mentioned about this part of bhakti yoga is possible even in from family life. But like jnana yoga to achieve Brahman realization like that, or Astanga yoga is very difficult. Astanga yoga itself is very difficult in this Church of Kali, and should be both of them, both those schools should be performed in the complete celibacy. But devotional service, even one is still in family life, they still can cultivate this bhakti. So that is the speciality of the bhakti yoga. We can just go direct, and then by the purifications of our heart, then they will get all these things, detachment and renunciation in the term of our mentality should be achieved by everyone, whether woman or whoever, although Sudra, something like that, supposed to be achieved. And how to do that? Actually, by we trying to connect ourselves with Krishna. All those things will manifest. And yeah, the process is given how to do that. And actually, there is a good book. I don't know if it is there with you. The book is about the nectar of devotions, and also one more thing is nectar of instruction. That is like a guide for us how to perform devotional service practically, like this, what we should do, what this is. In Bhagavad Gita, it's more like a philosophical and like a, yeah, like that. And then in the practical way, of course, in Bhagavad Gita also sometimes seeing the practical way, but it is just general, and how like even daily program should be. It is in the another book, just giving us guidance. Do you want to share something?
No, it was okay.
So anyhow, tomorrow will be another text. Another text. Will you be able to join tomorrow or?
Wednesday, yes, it's gonna be okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So Monday I cannot. Yeah, Monday.
No, Monday and Friday it's more
Okay.
difficult.
Okay. So
But yes, tomorrow and
Tuesday
Thursday it
and
should be okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Perfect.
okay. I think we can stop here. We'll
Okay.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good
Hare
day.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You too.
And
Thank you so
do you
much.
still sometimes chant, right? Because it is very
Sorry?
important. Do you sometimes still chant
Yes.
mantra?
I didn't
This
hear
is
it.
yeah,
The Hare Krishna one,
yeah.
which is
Yeah. This is very important. Do you remember the opening mantra? I just want to Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
no, like I can, like when you sing, I can like do some words or
Yeah.
like some sound.
That was the
But
opening. Yeah.
I can't do it by myself.
Yeah. Maybe I will need to record it so that you can maybe record.
Yes, would
Yeah.
be super cool.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That is very important to start because it is like we are like asking permission to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Lord Krishna's avatar, who brought this chanting, and this is like a key to open. I will just right now. I will write it also. I will copy it to your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And then also to
Perfect.
to record.
And if you can record also, it's good.
Yeah. Yes.
Then I can have the good rhythm.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Hare
Have a nice day.
Yes.